in the faith, in your belief in the Most High Mashiach Yahushua, by Shama Mashiach Yahushua, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world of Israel, going through what we got to go through. Just like Mashiach Yahushua went through what he went through. That's why I say, but the power of all grace, who have called us unto his eternal glory by Mashiach Yahushua, after that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, settle you. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Forever and ever and ever. Not just temporarily, but forever. That's why you got to rebuke the devil, he shall flee. You rebuke the devil today? Some of you need to rebuke him a whole lot. A few times in the day. Because here he comes. And whenever, a lot of times whenever things are getting ready to prosper and come up, well, you gotta deal with the madness of people start to rouse up, and because if you don't recognize spirits that are prevalent to get into you, to be able to know yourself, because Satan gets into the minds of people. I showed you how the Most High wanted to kill King Ahab, and he said, "How am I gonna do it?" And all these spirits came up to him and said, "I'll go down and I'll do this, and I'll do that, and I'll do this, and I'll do that." Then a lion spirit came up and said, "I'll go down and lie to all his prophets." So he'll believe that if he go up and make Mount Gilead, he'll live. He won't die. Because he was wicked. He was doing evil. And that's what people got to realize. We don't really know a lot of times of the judgment that the Most High is bringing forth. But it could be because of something else that we don't have a clue of. And that, like I said, some people are taken out of this world just so they have to deal with all the matters that we got to deal with. See? Say, let me take them out. They don't have to go through what we got to go through. Ain't got to see this madness. Look what it says in Isaiah 13 and 11. He said, "And I will punish the world for their evil." See? He will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity, for being wicked and sinning against the Most High. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. See? Verse 9. "Behold, the day of the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate. And he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it." So, no matter how you look at it, if you don't come back to him, he's going to destroy you. And it's coming to be that, it's getting to be that time. Verse 19, it says, "In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms." Babylon the Great is America. "The beauty of the Chaldees actually shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah." It's going to be like when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. He burnt those cities up. "It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation." See. "Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and Saturns shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant places. And her time is near to come. And her days shall not be prolonged. See, people think this gonna last forever. It's not gonna last forever. Every kingdom had a certain amount of time to rule. After that time was over, the Most High brought forth another kingdom to rule over them. So, Most High is fair. He's fair. It's not as if, you know, you can look at these kingdoms didn't have a chance to rule. All nations had a chance to rule. We're in captivity under all these nations. But see, that's not taught. That's why you look at Revelation 18. Verse 1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen. It's fallen, has become the habitation of devils. Devils living all in this land. And the hold of every foul spirit. The hold of every foul spirit. And the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. All nations following America. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacy. See? Verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. The things that she have done wrong. Reward her even as she rewarded you. And double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, filled to her double. We receive double. Isaiah 40. I mean, that's why I say it's fair, but if you don't know the fairness of the Most High, then you're lacking in knowledge. Because go to Isaiah the 40th chapter in verse 1. We went over this before. It says, comfort ye my people, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, said the Most High. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her, that her warfare is accomplished. See, our warfare is accomplished. That her iniquity is pardoned. For she hath received of the Most High's hand double for all her sins. See? So we receive double for all our sins. So they're going to receive double for all of theirs. Because they, like it says, all the nations are following suit with and committing fornication with the way she is. Look at Revelation 18 and 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Wine is meaning they're influenced by the way that everything is set up in this world to be Americanized. You know, back in the day, shoot, Japanese, they put on, the Japanese had on kimonos, I think they called. They had kimonos on. Now they got on suits. Everybody's looking at American TV. They looking at whatever we presenting from America. Everybody's drinking of the same, being influenced. Why I mean influence? They're influenced by, you know, the wrath of her fornication. That's what's going to come. Because they're not dealing with the truth. They're dealing with, you know, believing in whatever it is that they set up. Everything they set up, you know, is one of those like, wow, what are we going to look like years from now? They got skinny tight jeans and pants stacking off the butts of brothers and stuff. Some wearing them down almost to they dang on knees. What we gonna look like a few years from now? They keep designing the clothes to be more feminine, more feminine, more feminine. They want everybody to be like, you know, Sodom and Gomorrah. Look. Zechariah 1 and 9. All the answers are here. It's just a matter of you hearing what I'm saying. Look, just find what it says in the scriptures. Zechariah 1 and 9. Zephaniah 1 and 9, I think it is. 1 and 9. Or is it? Maybe I got it wrong. Let's see. Isaiah 1 and 9. Maybe it is. Isaiah 1 and 9. Is it? You ain't live a minute. Oh, I can find it in Romans. Yeah, that's it. Isaiah 1 and 9. Salakia. It says, except the Most High of hosts, Most High of armies of angels, had left unto us a very small remnant. Hear that? A very small remnant. We should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. You know, men with men, women with women, and not only that, just all doing all kind of evil and wickedness. I mean, he said if he didn't leave a small remnant, see, we should have been like Sodom and like unto Gomorrah. You know what happened there. Shoot, you can read about that in Genesis 19th chapter. They came to the door. They wanted to have sex with angels and stuff. They wanted to shoot. Men with men, women with women. So he had to destroy that place. It was vexing them. Like America is vexing them. Going back to Revelation 18. Verse 6, it said, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double, just like we got double. The children of Israel unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow coming. Nobody touched America. So she said a queen, and shall not see any sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, and mourning, and famine, food shortages. And she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Most High power who judges her. See, the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her. They're going to be crying when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon of America, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. See? It'll take 1 hour to bring this place down. And nobody gonna stop it. Because you look at how, I mean, when you look up Edom, it says Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures as a scene of great future judgment. That's in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. She is the only neighbor of the Israelites that's not given any promise of mercy from the Most High. That's why I'm dealing with these plagues and curses on us and on the Edomites, who are the superpower of the earth, and the other nations that don't come back to the Most High. And to give scriptures. Look at the scripture they gave. Isaiah 34, 5 and 6. And Isaiah 63rd chapter. So they give scriptures to back up what they believe and know. We done read what they're going to say in the end. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction, Wisdom Solomon 5 and 7. We have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Most High and Mount Shai, we have not known it. So y'all can follow them if you want to. This is what they said. They told us to look up Isaiah 34 and 5. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Look up Idumea in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. It says Idumea, Edom, Rome. That's what it says. It shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. What's the curse? No melanin, no pigment. Leprosy. You read that in Leviticus the 13th chapter. Say the sword of the Most High is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Most High has a sacrifice in Basra, which is the capital city of Edom, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. There it is. So, when you look at the 2nd Ezra 13, 2nd Ezra 13, 9, start at verse 9. Because all the nations, they all together. They have the United Nations. They got a Army, Navy, Marines, and Air Force. They all going to come together. All these nations to fight against Mashiach Yahushua and the holy angels. They always prepared. That's why they up there got their little Star Wars program and so forth. What do you need antimatter guns for? We're matter, we're flesh. This end result, say 2nd Ezra 13 and 9. And lo, as he saw, as Mashiach Yahushua saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire. Remember, he ain't coming as a man, he ain't meeting them as a man, he's coming as an angel in his angelic power. Out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight. So they prepared to fight them. They all together in this. And burned them up, every one. That's the judgment. And burned them up, every one, so that upon a sudden of a innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. This is a vision that Ezra is seeing. He said when he saw this, he was afraid. It scared him. Look at Isaiah 30 and 27. Isaiah 30 and 27. Behold, the name of the Most High cometh from far, burning with his anger. And the burden thereof is heavy. His lips are full of indignation, and his tongue as a devouring fire. Let's see. And his breath as an overflowing stream. We just read about this in the Apocrypha. Shall reach to the midst of the neck, to sift the nations with the sieve of vanity. And there shall be a bridle in the jaws of the people, causing them to err. So that's bridle in the jaws of the people, like a bridle in a horse. It tells them which way to go. That bridle in his mouth, you can push it to the, pull it to the right, you go to the right. Pull it to the left, you can go to the left. So that bridle in the jaws of the people causes them to err. They follow in the way of the heathen. They follow in the way of the higher ups, that's or the elite, that show them how you follow them in error. Say, you shall have a song as in the night when the holy assembly is kept, and gladness of heart, as when one goeth with a pipe to come into the mountain of the Most High, to the mighty one of Israel. And the Most High shall cause his glorious voice to be heard, and shall show the lighting down of his arm, with the indignation of his anger, and with the flame of a devouring fire, with scattering and tempest and hailstones. For though the voice of the Most High but through the voice of the Most High shall the Assyrian be beaten down, which smote with a rod. Forgetting the Assyrians. And in every place where the grounded staff shall pass, which the Most High shall lay upon him, it shall be with timbrels and harps, and in battles of shaking will he fight with it. Tovet is ordained of old, yeah. For the king it is prepared. He hath made it deep and large. The pile thereof is fire and much wood. So you put a lot of wood on this fire, you know how much he gonna destroy them. You know how it's gonna be hot. The breath of the Most High, well, Mashiach Yahushua, like a stream of brimstone, does kindle it. See. So he let you know, Israel, going into Isaiah 31 says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. You go to the oppressor for help. And stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many. Because you look at them being many. And in horsemen because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel. Neither seek the Most High. He's screaming at you. Yet he also is wise and will bring evil. And will not call back his words. Remember to say when he sent forth his words come out of his mouth, it's not going to come back void. But will arise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. See. Now the Egyptians are men. The oppressors, the captors are men and not the Most High. But they didn't set themselves up to say, I am, and none else beside me. And their horses flesh and not spirit. But the Mashiach Shai said he's coming back. He's not coming back as a man, but as a spirit, an angel. When the Most High shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is helped shall fall down. And they all shall fail together. For thus say the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for thus hath the Most High spoken unto me. Like as the lion and the young lion roaring on his prey, getting ready to pounce on something. When a multitude of shepherds is called forth against him, he will not be afraid of their voice, nor abase himself for the noise of them. So shall the Most High of hosts come down to fight for Mount Zion. So shall the Most High of hosts, Most High of armies, come down and fight for the 12 tribes of Israel and for the hill thereof. See, as birds flying, birds fly in a V formation, so will the Most High of hosts defend Jerusalem. Just so shall he defend us. Mashiach shall be in the front with 200 million angels going in that V formation, coming down to defend us. Defending also, he will deliver it. He gonna deliver us. He gonna save us. And passing over, he will preserve it. He gonna preserve the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. You see. That's why you said when he come, he gonna tell us. As we read previously, he's gonna say, look, go to 1 Thessalonians 4:16. For the Most High himself, while Mashiach Yahushua shall descend from heaven with a shout. He coming in a V formation as birds flying. With a shout, with the voice of the archangel and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead that have died by a shovel Mashiach Yahushua, knowing of Mashiach Yahushua, shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds, which are the chariots of the Most High, the vehicles, what they call flying saucers, but they really identify flying objects. We understand it. Then we which are alive, going to be those that are alive and remain, shall be caught up together with them in the clouds, in the IFOs, in the chariots of the Most High, to meet the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua, in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua. Wherefore comfort one another with these words. So that's why you go to Revelations. Say comfort with each other. Though he coming to deliver us, to save us. But we can't be on this earth when all this stuff go down. We got to be somewhere. I mean, just like the Most High allowed, he ruled the kingdom of men. He allowed them to have all these great chariots and, jets and the things that they have beyond what we can see. They've got flying saucers too. The Germans had that in World War II. They got all the German scientists. So look at Revelation 11:11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of the life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. That's why you read in Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Say, then shall the righteous man stand then shall the righteous man stand before them which have afflicted them and made no account of their labors. When they see it, they shall be filled with terrible fear, as you see now. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither, just like we just read in 1 Thessalonians 4:16. Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, we just read, in the chariot of the Most High, flying saucer or IFO. And their enemies beheld them. So our enemies beheld us. And it tells you what they're going to say in Wisdom of Solomon 5:2 on down. This was he who we had a reproach and derision. How's he numbered among the saints? Listen. And they heard a great voice, verse 12, from heaven saying, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. In the same hour was there a great earthquake. And the 10th part of the city fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. And the remnant were affrighted. That's the remnant, the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. And gave glory to the Most High while Mashiach Rashai of heaven. See. So you see. Verse 18. And the nations were angry. And that wrath is come. In the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, the Israelites, the prophets, and to the saints, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, and them that fear thy name, they that fear the Most High's name, small and great, and should have destroyed them which destroy the earth. So he's going to destroy them that destroyed the earth. Come on, y'all. Y'all know this earth is all polluted. Everywhere you go. Pollution everywhere. The land is polluted. I mean, look at all the land that they have. Some of the food shortage. They got all this land to be able to plant all crops. But they can't plant crops because most of them had the bugs come in and eat the crops up. So they had to get pesticides that's stronger and stronger and stronger. And once they spray it, it goes to the ground to foul the ground. Plus, they don't allow the ground to rest every 7 years. They don't follow the laws of the Most High. He gave us how to. He made it. He know how to deal with it. He told us how to deal with it, but they don't do that. They glean everything, take everything, got barbed wire fence, shot you if you go and try and get anything out of there. All you want is an orange. I just wanted an orange. Shoot, you might get killed trying to pick an orange, orange orchard out here. It's bad. It's terrible. The air polluted. Got chemtrails they spraying us with coming down while everybody's sick. Most people got asthmatic conditions behind the chemtrails. Water is, gotta buy water. Unheard of. You would never think you'd have to buy water. Why people getting so much cancer and all these plagues of diseases that people have. They got stuff that laugh at penicillin. Just, what is this? Keep on stepping. Diseases that's uncurable. These are plagues. People sleeping around here, there, and everywhere. Ending up with all kind of STDs and so forth. And they got STDs they don't even know, have a name for them. They coming so fast. They jump from here, there, and everywhere. So These are the things that are in this world that were prophesied. The Most High would bring this upon the nations. That's why I did a lesson on hurricanes, tornadoes, fires, and all these spirits that the Most High say they are made for vengeance. And they on this earth waiting for the commandment of the Most High to bring it forth against the people for judgment. That's why it behooves you to come back to the Most High and the Mashiach of Shah, because he tells you, go to Revelation 12 for 1. In verse 5, it says, and she brought forth a man-child, Mashiach Yahushua, she is married, who shall rule all nations with a rod of iron. Hear that? You're going to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto the Most High and to his throne. So the Most High, gave her Mashiach Yahushua dominion over everything. Read Acts 1 and 9. He ascended up to the right hand side of the Most High. The Most High and the angels brought him before the Most High. The Most High gave him all dominion to rule. But he's going to rule these nations with a rod of iron. Right, go to Psalms, the 2nd chapter. Psalms, the 2nd chapter. And the 9th verse. It say, well, let's look at verse 8. It say, ask the men, I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance. You're going to give all these other nations outside the 12 tribes of Israel for their inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. So the most part of the earth for his possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Notice why they're going to be dashed to pieces, because of the fact of this. Go to Isaiah 60th chapter and verse 12. Isaiah 60 and 12. Reason why they're going to be broken to pieces like a potter's vessel. Like a potter that's making a pot, just take that pot, just throw it down on the ground and break it into pieces. Says Isaiah 60 and 12, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yet those nations shall be utterly wasted. That's why they're going to be broken in pieces like a potter's vessel. Because they're not going to adhere to serving the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua, and the Israelites. Look, Revelation in the 2nd chapter. It says, for you, Israel, for us. And he that overcometh, see, we got to overcome the wiles of the devil. And keepeth my works unto the end. Keeping the works unto the end, enduring to the end. To him will I give power over the nations. See that? You overcome the wiles of the devil and all the things that they're trying to bring in front of you to have you be wicked and unrighteous. You got to keep my works until the end, endure unto the end. To him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. See, that's why he told us in Revelation 3 and 21, to him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne. You overcome, we're going to sit with a Mashiach Yahushua in his throne. His power is from the authority. Even as I also overcame and am set down with my Father in his throne. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. Daniel 7 and 18. Here it is. Daniel 7:18. But the saints of the Most High, who are the saints? Got to find them. Go to Psalms 50 and 5. We're going to do the long version. Psalms 50 and 5. We define in the saints. So it says, but the saints of the Most High. Who the saints of the Most High? Psalms 50 and 5. Gather my saints together unto me. Who are they? Who are the saints? Those that have made a covenant or contract agreement with me, with the Most High, by sacrifice. So who's this covenant made with? Psalms 105 and 7. Psalms 105 and 8. He had remembered his covenant forever, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations, which covenant or contract or agreement he made with Abraham, going all the way back to our forefather Abraham, and his oath unto Isaac. Abraham had a son named Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel, the Israelites, for an everlasting covenant. See? So that covenant was with Abraham, Isaac, to Jacob, to the Israelites, to the tribes of Israel. Now let's go to Psalms 148. We defining who the saints are. Psalms 148, 14. He also exalted the horn, which is the power of his people. You know, the horn is like the bull's horn, that's his power. The goat's horn, that's his power. His power, hip talk. He also exalted the horn, which is the power of his people, the praise of all his saints. Who are they? Even of the children of Israel. Who are we? A people near unto the Most High. Near unto him. Praise ye the Most High. Right? So Psalms 149:1. Praise ye the Most High. Sing unto the Most High a new song, and his praise in the congregation of saints. Who are they? Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name in the dance. As we dance and praise the Most High. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp, playing music. It says, for the Most High taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. The humble. He's going to beautify the humble of our people, of the children of Israel, with salvation. Power, and authority. Not the proud, but the meek. The meek. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand. To the saints, say a two-edged sword in their hand. We're going to sing praises to the Most High and a two-edged sword in our hands. Why? To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. Just as we went into captivity, they go into captivity. To execute upon them the judgment written. This honor has all the saints who are the children of Israel. Praise ye the Most High. So you look at Revelations 13, 9, and 10. Now that we define the saints, Revelation 13 and 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. If you listening, you got ears. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So we were led into captivity. These people are going into captivity. Those that led us into captivity, going into captivity. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. We define the saints by the children of Israel. Jeremiah 30 and 16. Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured. And all thine adversaries, all our enemies, every one of them shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee, they that have robbed us, year in and year out, shall be a spoil. They're going to be robbed. And all that prey upon thee will I give, the Most High going to give, for a prey. Say, for I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, said the Most High. Because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, this the 12 tribes of Israel, this the Israelites, whom no man seeketh after. Isaiah 14:1. Isaiah 14:1. It's pretty self-explanatory. For the Most High will have mercy, which is not getting something you deserve, on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers, all these other nations, shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. They're going to cleave to us. When you see what we just read about, the judgment, when the Mashiach shall come to judge and make war, and the things that he's going to do to set up righteousness on this earth, you're going to have to. Because he tell you that all the army, navies, and marines, and air forces of all these nations are going to get together to fight him. They're going to fight each other. They're going to stop fighting and join together to fight him. That's why it says, for the Most High will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. The Most High is going to do this. And the Mashiach Yahushua, the anointed Savior. And the strangers, these other nations, shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. They're going to cleave to us. But they're going to know. They're going to say, wow, the Most High is with you. They're going to know that the Most High is with us in that day. Without a shadow of a doubt. You're going to realize, wow, we have made a terrible mistake. Verse 2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place. We're going to take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Most High for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors. So, this is the judgment that's coming. Future prophecy. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Most High shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve. That's when we'll get rest. At this time. It's a hard bondage that we were made to serve here. It's a long time too. 1492 to now. That's a long time, people. So, but he says we're going to get rest during this time. So going back to Daniel's 7 and 18. But the saints, who we know now are the 12 tribes of Israel, of the Most High, shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. We got next, forever and ever and ever. Verse 27. In the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, the 12 tribes of Israel, 1/3, mind you, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom. So our kingdom going to last forever. That's why it's worth coming back to the Most High, learning, you know, about his laws, statutes, commandments, which are not hard. I mean, it's not, this is easy. You know, it's just the world make everything hard because it wants you to be wicked and evil with it. To go down with it. It says, and the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, gonna last forever. And all dominions shall serve and obey him. You know? All dominions are gonna serve, and they're gonna follow just what he says to do, and obey him. They're gonna obey him. Hitherto is the end of the matter. That's it. That's all I gotta say. That's all the word of the Most High has to say for today. That's enough. We have covered enough in this fact. That's all she wrote.